Your future is being decided while you sleep, not by luck, not by effort, but by the last words you speak before your eyes close. The moment your body rests, your subconscious awakens, and it listens, it records, it obeys, and it begins to manifest whatever instruction you have whispered into the invisible. Most people rehearse worry as they drift into sleep. They replay the day's fears. They mumble defeat in silence. And then they wonder why they wake to more of the same. But I tell you now, there is another way, a higher way, a divine way. You can speak your wealth, command your healing, call forth your good while you sleep. I do not speak of vague intentions. I speak of law that never slumbers, law that fulfills itself by vibration, law that works when the conscious mind no longer resists. And the night, that sacred window between worlds, is the most potent altar upon which to place your word. You must train your tongue to send spiritual instruction before sleep, so that divine mind has its perfect material to work with as you rest. And if you will say these words, rhythmically, lawfully, faithfully, for 7 nights straight, I promise you this: something must change. Why? Because law is exact. Law is obedient. Law never forgets the voice of truth. Let us begin. There is a sacred law that governs the night. It is not written in the books of men, but it is written across the pages of Scripture and the record of every spiritually awakened soul. It is the law of the spoken word released before sleep. You see, the night is not empty. It is not silence. It is not rest alone. It is a divine womb, a sacred workshop, a spiritual portal. And the words you speak before you enter its gates are the blueprint the universe will build from. When men are cast down, then thou shalt say, there is lifting up. Job 22:29. What you say, not what you feel, not what you fear, what you say, decides whether the night brings elevation or entrapment. The subconscious mind, which governs 95% of your experience, is most receptive in the final moments before you sleep. In that window, it does not argue. It does not reject. It does not critique. It absorbs. And whatever it absorbs, it begins to grow, like seed in soil, like blueprint in divine machinery. And yet, what do most people sow into that moment? Complaints, regret, doubt, worry. How will I pay this? Why hasn't it happened yet? I feel behind. They call it harmless, but spiritual law does not differentiate casual from creative. It fulfills vibration, it fulfills rhythm, it fulfills the words spoken with inner agreement. So, if you sow fear at night, do not be surprised when you harvest confusion by morning. But the one who knows law, the one who speaks before sleep with deliberate truth, plants miracles. That one lies down not as a victim of circumstance, but as a master of vibration. That one says, even while I sleep, law is working on my behalf. And because they say it, and believe it, and speak it with rhythm, it must be so. Do not be deceived by the silence of the room. The ether is listening, the spirit is recording. The law is waiting for your instruction. And if you give it nothing, it will default to your past programming. But if you give it command, repetition, and truth, it will bend the elements of your life in your favor. This is why I teach spoken word before sleep. This is why I instruct rhythm over reaction. Because law cannot ignore the one who speaks in truth, especially not at night. For the night is sacred. The night is spiritual soil, and the tongue is the sower. What will you plant tonight? Every night you stand at the threshold between two worlds, the conscious and the subconscious. At that sacred threshold, you hold a divine responsibility. You must speak clearly, deliberately, and lawfully, because in those precious moments, the subconscious mind becomes a perfect servant. It does not question your authority, it simply obeys your instruction. Yet most souls waste these sacred moments. They allow their thoughts to wander. They permit their tongues to repeat the day's frustrations, fears, and failures, unknowingly planting weeds instead of wheat. But you must plant only what you desire to reap. You must use your words as spiritual commands, not as reactions. This is your nightly discipline. This is your spiritual ritual, and this is what transforms ordinary sleep into a divine encounter. So tonight, and for the next 7 nights, you will speak specific words, words aligned with divine law, not words of worry, nor prayers of pleading, but words of absolute truth and spiritual certainty. You will speak clearly, firmly, and rhythmically, knowing that as you do, you are programming your subconscious to produce miraculous outcomes. You will release your voice as though it were an architect's blueprint, knowing with full faith that divine intelligence takes your command and builds your reality as you sleep. Understand clearly, your words before sleep are not hopeful wishes. They are authoritative decrees. When you say, "I am richly supplied," you are not suggesting, you are instructing divine law to make this truth visible. When you declare, "All that is mine by divine right now comes to me effortlessly," you are not persuading, you are affirming law, and law must respond. Your words are your spiritual architects. They draw the blueprint, and the divine law works silently through the night to construct what you've commanded. You may wonder, what if I don't feel it? Understand this clearly. Law is indifferent to feelings. It responds to repetition. The subconscious mind does not measure sincerity. It measures consistency, and it takes your consistent word as the highest truth, whether you feel it or not. Therefore, every night before your eyes close, you must speak deliberately. You must rehearse no fears, voice no doubts, and entertain no contradictions. Instead, you will calmly and confidently repeat the powerful truths that I am about to give you. Do this faithfully, night after night, and watch as law fulfills itself in your life. Do not drift into sleep unconsciously. Drift into sleep deliberately. Make your final words each night a sacred act of spiritual authority. For 7 consecutive nights, speak the truths I give you, and you will witness unmistakable demonstrations. Do not question how. Do not calculate when. Simply trust that your subconscious mind, when given clear instruction, arranges the perfect outcome. This is the truth that sets you free. Your subconscious mind does not negotiate. It obeys. Your subconscious mind does not debate. It executes. And your subconscious mind does not sleep. It creates according to your final spoken command. So tonight, you take command. Tonight, you shift from passive participant to spiritual architect. Tonight, you stop waiting for results and start commanding them. You do not need to plead with the universe. You need only speak your truth, and the universe, obedient and precise, will rush to fulfill your every command. This is your nightly work. This is your sacred responsibility, and this is your guarantee of demonstration. Now let us move into the powerful declarations you must speak for 7 consecutive nights. Now we arrive at the moment of command. These words are not affirmations. They are declarations, laws spoken from your mouth into the infinite mind. These declarations set your identity, establish your supply, and align you permanently with the rhythm of divine provision. When spoken nightly for 7 consecutive nights, these 3 declarations plant deep roots into your subconscious, ensuring that your inner being no longer argues, questions, or doubts, but simply fulfills your spoken truth. Declaration 1. I sleep knowing all that is mine by divine right now rushes to meet me. Understand clearly, you are not hoping, you are not waiting, you are not bargaining with life. You are declaring with absolute spiritual certainty that all forms of your divine inheritance are actively seeking you out, effortlessly flowing into your life even while your physical body rests. Speak this aloud as you lie down each night. Feel its rhythm permeating your cells. Know it deeply and fully. Declare this truth as a command that divine law must fulfill, recognizing you as its rightful owner. You are no longer chasing anything. You no longer strive after what is already yours. You lie down in certainty, knowing that by divine command, your good is actively, intentionally, and swiftly seeking you out, guided by invisible hands of law. Your spoken declaration is not idle. It sets powerful currents into motion, currents that draw your supply directly toward you. Declaration 2. I am the vessel of infinite supply. I do not seek, I allow. This declaration establishes your identity as a divine channel. You are not a small cup seeking to be filled. You are a vast reservoir through which infinite supply flows effortlessly. Your only task is not to grasp, beg, or demand, but to allow, permit, and become the open door through which divine substance enters this world. You do not ask, you know. You do not plead, you embody. You declare boldly, I do not seek, I allow. When spoken nightly, this declaration dismantles every inner obstacle, every subconscious resistance that has kept you in lack or limitation. It reminds your deeper mind that your natural state is abundance, your innate condition is overflow, your birthright is infinite supply. You must not wonder about this. You must declare it clearly, repeatedly, and with complete authority, knowing that divine law hears, records, and fulfills your spoken command. Declaration 3. My dreams are soaked in truth. My subconscious accepts only divine instruction. This declaration purifies your inner landscape. It clears away mental clutter, silences the voices of fear, and establishes divine truth as the only accepted message in your subconscious. Your dreams become divine visions. Your sleep becomes sacred instruction. Your subconscious mind is no longer a storehouse of doubt. It is a sanctuary of truth. Each night you declare that your subconscious accepts nothing but divine truth. Nothing but divine instruction, nothing but spiritual certainty. When you speak this, you align your inner being completely with your higher self, ensuring that even while your conscious mind rests, your subconscious mind absorbs and executes divine commands perfectly. You become impermeable to negative suggestion. You become a perfect vessel for positive creation. Your subconscious mind listens, receives, and accepts only the highest and truest vibration, and as it does, your outer reality begins to reflect this inner alignment flawlessly. Speak these 3 declarations each night with authority and rhythm. Speak them deliberately, feeling their truth deeply within your being. Do not question their power, affirm it. Do not hesitate, command boldly. And as you speak them for 7 consecutive nights, watch how quickly and effortlessly your circumstances shift, your supply multiplies, and your inner being aligns permanently with divine provision. Your declarations are your law, your words are your creation, your nighttime ritual is your spiritual responsibility. Obey this truth, and divine law will obey you. Now, let us move deeper into your nightly discipline. We now proceed deeper into the sacred discipline of spoken truth. Each of these declarations carries the force of divine law, and each addresses one of the most profound needs of your inner and outer life: divine timing, spiritual protection, and perfect order. Every night, as you speak these truths before sleep, your subconscious mind aligns fully and irrevocably with the higher order of the universe, guaranteeing that your experience unfolds with effortless precision, complete safety, and undeniable harmony. Speak these laws deliberately and clearly, feeling each truth anchored deeply into your soul. Declaration 4. Divine timing is at work in every detail. Nothing can be delayed from me. You must understand clearly that delay is an illusion born from fear and misunderstanding of spiritual law. Divine timing operates perfectly, precisely, and continually, aligning every detail of your life for your highest good. The universe is not late, never delayed, and cannot be rushed. When you speak this declaration nightly, you free yourself from anxiety about time. You release impatience, dissolve worry, and clear the subconscious barriers that previously blocked your manifestations. You instruct your subconscious clearly and absolutely that your divine good arrives exactly when it is meant to, and nothing, absolutely nothing, can interfere with this sacred alignment. Feel these words deeply as you speak them. Understand that the moment you declare them, your subconscious mind organizes your experience according to divine law. Your supply arrives precisely when needed. Opportunities appear exactly on schedule. Your highest good manifests effortlessly and perfectly timed. Every night you remind your subconscious, nothing can be delayed from me. And because law responds to your word, delay dissolves and divine timing becomes your lived reality. Declaration 5. I am shielded by truth. No fear can enter my rest. This declaration anchors your spiritual protection. Your sleep becomes a sacred sanctuary where fear has no entrance. Your subconscious is sealed with divine truth, and nothing negative, destructive, or fearful can penetrate the sacred atmosphere created by your spoken word. Each night you reinforce your spiritual safety. You declare clearly and boldly that your consciousness is divinely protected. You sleep knowing that you are surrounded by infinite protection, watched over by spiritual law, and shielded by truth. By speaking these words, you eradicate subconscious fear. You neutralize worry, anxiety, or doubt that previously disturbed your peace. Your sleep becomes a profound rest, free from intrusion, safe from attack, and guarded by divine principle. You do not question your protection. You affirm it, command it, and trust it absolutely. Your subconscious mind, fully obedient to your spoken word, upholds your protection and guards your sleep vigilantly, so you awake each morning renewed, fearless, and deeply rested. Declaration 6. I lie down in spiritual order. Everything is being placed perfectly while I sleep. Understand that order is heaven's first law. Chaos and confusion have no place in divine mind. When you speak this declaration nightly, you command universal intelligence to bring absolute harmony to every aspect of your life. Your subconscious mind immediately begins to organize and rearrange your conditions perfectly and precisely according to spiritual law. All confusion resolves, all disorder disappears. Every detail of your life aligns seamlessly, reflecting spiritual harmony and universal order. Speak these words as you lie down, knowing deeply that your spoken command instructs your subconscious mind to reorganize your reality into perfect harmony. While you sleep, relationships align, finances harmonize, health balances, and circumstances improve. You no longer need to micromanage your life. You trust divine intelligence to orchestrate perfect order through your word. Your subconscious, perfectly responsive to your nightly declaration, fulfills your spoken command flawlessly. As you speak these 3 declarations each night, feel their power resonate within you. Know without question that divine timing is now active, your spiritual protection unbreakable, and divine order absolute. You sleep each night confident, peaceful, and fully aligned, knowing that the divine law is working ceaselessly, precisely, and powerfully on your behalf. Now, let us move even deeper into the final declarations that will complete your nightly spoken discipline. Now we come to the final trio of your nightly declarations, the most powerful spiritual instructions of all. These words activate your inner vision, affirm your divine command, and guarantee the perfect return of your spoken truth. Each night you speak these declarations, you solidify your spiritual authority, strengthen your subconscious vision, and command law to deliver clear, tangible evidence of your inner alignment. Speak these final declarations with unwavering confidence, knowing that every word uttered is fulfilled, every command obeyed, and every declaration returned multiplied. Declaration 7. I see clearly in my spirit what belongs to me. I release all confusion. Vision is your divine birthright. Confusion is a product of fear and separation. When you declare this truth nightly, your inner vision is activated and clarified, removing every subconscious blockage, every mental fog, and every doubt about your true desires. You affirm boldly that you see clearly, spiritually, precisely, and confidently exactly what belongs to you by divine right. Your subconscious mind, obedient and receptive, accepts this clear instruction, eliminating confusion and sharpening your spiritual sight. You no longer wander or wonder. You see clearly, know absolutely, and trust completely the vision of your fulfilled desire. Your subconscious mind recognizes your clarity as law, bringing this divine vision into physical form easily and swiftly. Every night, as you declare clarity, confusion dissolves and spiritual vision intensifies, ensuring your life manifests perfectly in alignment with your inner knowing. Declaration 8. Even while I sleep, divine law works on my behalf. Understand clearly, divine law never sleeps. It never hesitates, never doubts, and never rests. It works ceaselessly, tirelessly, and perfectly on behalf of your spoken command. When you affirm this truth each night, your subconscious mind fully aligns with the absolute power of spiritual law. You declare your trust that even as your conscious mind rests, universal intelligence arranges every circumstance, aligns every person, and orchestrates every detail perfectly and precisely for your highest good. Your subconscious mind, hearing this instruction clearly each night, accepts and activates this divine truth immediately. Every aspect of your life becomes an active field of divine creation. Even your sleep is no longer passive. It becomes sacred, productive, and powerful. Your subconscious mind works tirelessly and flawlessly throughout the night, ensuring your awakening brings unmistakable evidence of divine alignment. Declaration 9. I wake to evidence. I sleep in faith. My word does not return void. This final declaration is your sacred seal. It guarantees the perfect return of your spoken truth. You declare boldly, confidently, and rhythmically each night that your spoken words are absolute spiritual commands, never empty, never uncertain, and never unfulfilled. You affirm your faith completely. You lie down each night knowing that your spoken instructions will yield tangible, visible, and undeniable evidence by morning. This declaration commands your subconscious to produce clear, unmistakable manifestations of your spiritual authority. Your spoken words become undeniable proof, measurable results, and visible outcomes. Each morning you awaken to evidence, demonstrations, and confirmations of your nightly declarations. Your subconscious mind records and fulfills every spoken instruction with absolute precision, ensuring that your word never returns empty, never unanswered, and never void. Speak these final 3 declarations nightly with authority, rhythm, and unwavering faith. Know deeply that your vision is clear, your command is absolute, and your return guaranteed. As you do this faithfully for 7 consecutive nights, the very fabric of your reality must shift to reflect your new alignment. Your circumstances, experiences, relationships, finances, health, and spiritual fulfillment will rapidly and radically change to reflect your consistent nightly instructions. Your nightly declarations are complete. Your subconscious mind is fully instructed. Your inner being is permanently aligned. All that remains now is your obedience to this sacred discipline. Now, let us move forward to the powerful process of mental reprogramming that cements these truths deeply and permanently into your inner being. You have now spoken the sacred words. You have planted divine seeds. But seeds alone, if not properly nurtured, can wither before they manifest. Now you must water your words. Now you must secure the soil. Now you must reprogram your subconscious mind completely, so it accepts your nightly declarations as permanent truth. Understand clearly. Your subconscious mind is not stubborn. It is faithful. It is not resisting you. It is obeying old instructions that you previously planted, often unconsciously. To transform your life permanently, you must now consciously and deliberately overwrite old programming with these new, powerful spiritual truths. Each night, your subconscious mind is most receptive in the final moments before sleep. In that sacred window, your conscious guard lowers, and the subconscious stands open, ready to receive clear instructions. Whatever enters in that moment is faithfully executed. Your nightly declarations plant the seeds, but your conscious discipline, your deliberate and rhythmic repetition, waters them. Every word repeated before sleep becomes a permanent truth, a fixed subconscious command that must be obeyed. This is your nightly discipline of mental reprogramming. Repeat each declaration clearly, slowly, and rhythmically. Allow no doubt, fear, or hesitation. Imagine these truths soaking deeply into the subconscious mind, saturating every mental pathway, rewiring your entire belief structure. Know that every repetition permanently anchors your spiritual commands into your subconscious programming. Night by night, repetition by repetition, you overwrite every previous limitation, every unconscious fear, and every doubt that previously blocked your manifestations. Understand deeply, your subconscious mind does not question your authority, it only repeats what you install. It does not resist your truth, it only echoes your dominant vibration. And your dominant vibration is formed through repetition. By repeating these declarations nightly, you deliberately and consciously program your subconscious mind to accept abundance, harmony, clarity, perfect timing, protection, order, vision, and effortless manifestation as its default settings. Your subconscious mind becomes your divine partner. It takes your nightly instructions and translates them into reality with absolute precision. You no longer experience delays or obstacles because your subconscious mind is no longer holding contradicting beliefs. You have cleared the soil completely, allowing these new truths to flourish effortlessly and permanently. Imagine clearly each night as you speak, your subconscious mind fully absorbing and internalizing your declarations. Visualize these truths forming deep grooves of positive expectation in your mental and emotional patterns. See these declarations becoming your natural way of thinking, speaking, and responding, so that the moment any contrary thought arises, your subconscious immediately corrects it, reminding you of your higher truth. Your nightly repetition ensures that your subconscious programming aligns perfectly with your divine vision. Your life no longer becomes a battlefield between conscious desires and subconscious doubts. It becomes a unified, harmonious expression of spiritual truth. Every area of your life begins to reflect this permanent alignment. Relationships harmonize effortlessly, financial supply appears abundantly, physical health manifests vibrantly, and emotional peace becomes your constant companion. This nightly mental reprogramming is your sacred responsibility. It is not a burden, it is your liberation. Your repetition is your power. Your rhythm is your freedom. Your discipline is your guarantee. Each night, you faithfully program your subconscious mind until it accepts nothing less than the highest truth, the clearest vision, and the perfect manifestation of every desire you hold. Trust this process completely. Know that each repetition reinforces the divine pattern. Each nightly discipline strengthens your spiritual alignment. Each spoken truth cements your subconscious acceptance. You are not hoping for results. You are guaranteeing them through spiritual law. Now, having understood and accepted your responsibility for mental reprogramming, you stand ready for the sacred command and final challenge that will seal these truths permanently into your consciousness and into your manifested reality. You now stand before the final threshold. You have heard the laws. You have received the declarations. You have understood the power of your subconscious mind and its absolute obedience to your spoken word. But the question remains, will you now obey the truth you have learned? Will you accept this sacred responsibility and commit to speaking these declarations consistently for 7 consecutive nights? Or will you fall back into old patterns of doubt, hesitation, and scattered focus? The law is clear. Knowledge alone does not transform. Obedience to truth transforms. The spoken word alone does not manifest. Consistent repetition of the spoken word manifests. And so, I now give you this sacred command and powerful challenge. For the next 7 consecutive nights, you will speak these 9 divine declarations, each carefully designed to rewrite your subconscious mind, align you permanently with spiritual law, and guarantee visible, undeniable manifestations. Each night, without exception, you will speak each declaration clearly, boldly, and rhythmically. You will not skip a single night. You will not weaken your voice. You will not hesitate in your conviction. You will commit fully, completely, and absolutely to this sacred discipline. Understand clearly. This challenge is not a test. It is a spiritual initiation. It is your conscious decision to step fully into your spiritual authority, your divine identity, and your natural state of abundance, harmony, and effortless manifestation. For 7 nights straight, you will plant these spiritual seeds deep within your subconscious soil, knowing with absolute faith that divine law hears every word, records every rhythm, and fulfills every command without fail. You will speak these truths aloud. You will write them down. You will repeat them again and again until they become second nature, until they vibrate in every cell of your being, until your subconscious mind fully accepts them as your only reality. You will not allow doubt to interfere. You will not permit distraction to weaken your resolve. You will not entertain fear, limitation, or confusion. You will trust fully, speak boldly, and commit wholeheartedly to this sacred nightly ritual. The challenge is simple, yet profound. 7 consecutive nights of clear, rhythmic, spoken declarations. 7 nights of unwavering commitment. 7 nights of spiritual obedience. And on the 8th morning, watch closely, observe carefully, as unmistakable evidence begins to appear in your life. Notice how circumstances begin to shift effortlessly. Watch as solutions present themselves clearly and rapidly. Observe the natural flow of abundance and divine provision appearing without strain or struggle. Your commitment to this nightly challenge is your guarantee. Your obedience to this command is your assurance of success. Your consistent repetition of these spiritual truths is your key to permanent transformation. For these 7 nights, you will speak as a divine creator. You will command as a spiritual authority. You will instruct universal law with absolute certainty and unshakable faith. This sacred challenge is your initiation into divine mastery. It is your opportunity to prove to yourself the unfailing power of spiritual law, the perfect responsiveness of your subconscious mind, and the absolute effectiveness of disciplined, rhythmic, spoken truth. You do not need outside confirmation. You do not require external proof. Your nightly obedience is your confirmation. Your spiritual discipline is your proof. Your rhythmic repetition is your guarantee. Say clearly now, for 7 nights I commit fully, clearly, and absolutely to these spiritual declarations. I trust divine law, I obey spiritual truth, and I accept visible demonstration. as you take up this sacred challenge, know deeply that law responds immediately. Know with certainty that your subconscious mind accepts your instruction fully. Know without question that visible results are inevitable. Your discipline, obedience, and spiritual command are your assurance of demonstration. This is your challenge, your command, and your sacred responsibility. Accept it fully, speak it boldly, and demonstrate it perfectly. Now, as you embrace this sacred challenge, you are ready for the powerful affirmation sequence that will anchor your spoken truths permanently into your subconscious mind, sealing your commitment, your authority, and your absolute alignment with divine law. Now, we anchor your declarations. Now we seal your sacred command into your subconscious mind. This affirmation sequence is your spiritual signature, your permanent confirmation, your final alignment. Speak these words aloud, rhythmically, boldly, and confidently, knowing with absolute certainty that each word spoken becomes instant spiritual law. Feel deeply as each affirmation reverberates throughout your consciousness, programming your subconscious mind to accept your new divine identity fully, permanently, and irrevocably. Speak aloud with unwavering power. My word is law. My spoken truth creates visible miracles. You affirm clearly and powerfully that your words are no longer wishes. They are divine instructions, spiritual commands, instant creations. I sleep knowing divine law fulfills my every spoken command. Your sleep becomes sacred trust. You lie down in perfect faith, knowing your subconscious mind and universal law work tirelessly on your behalf. Every word I speak at night returns multiplied by morning. You command the universal law of multiplication, ensuring every spoken truth is returned abundantly, visibly, and perfectly. My subconscious mind accepts only divine truth and perfect alignment. You eliminate subconscious resistance permanently. Your subconscious mind accepts, fulfills, and manifests only your highest spiritual commands. I am the open channel of infinite supply. I no longer seek, I effortlessly allow. You establish your identity permanently as a divine vessel, effortlessly attracting and allowing infinite provision. Divine timing, spiritual protection, and perfect order are my permanent reality. Your subconscious mind fully accepts this as your permanent truth, manifesting continuous harmony, alignment, and divine timing. I awaken daily to undeniable evidence of my nightly spoken commands. You affirm the immediate visible return of your spoken truths, ensuring continuous daily confirmation and demonstration. I am no longer available for delay, doubt, or limitation. I command immediate divine alignment. You affirm absolute spiritual authority, declaring clearly and permanently your freedom from past limitations, delays, or subconscious resistance. Final seal. Speak boldly and decisively. For 7 nights I speak clearly. Divine law responds immediately. It is already done. Let these affirmations reverberate deeply within your consciousness. Know without doubt, without hesitation, and without question that each word spoken here is now permanently imprinted upon your subconscious mind. Your spoken truth becomes your spiritual reality. Your subconscious mind faithfully executes every command. Your life immediately begins reflecting perfect alignment, divine timing, spiritual protection, effortless manifestation, and abundant supply. These affirmations are your sacred seal, your spiritual confirmation, and your final commitment. Now, you are ready for the gentle but powerful call to action to ensure your continued obedience, perfect demonstration, and sustained spiritual alignment. Now you stand ready, fully instructed, perfectly aligned, and divinely equipped. Your next 7 nights are sacred. Your spoken words will shape your destiny. But remember clearly, It is your obedience, your rhythm, your nightly repetition that guarantees your visible results. I invite you now, not casually, but with divine sincerity, to commit to these 7 nights. Comment below, declaring your intention clearly. For the next 7 nights, I speak these words. I trust divine law. I expect miraculous evidence. Declare openly your sacred promise, affirm your commitment, and anchor your alignment. If this message resonates deeply within your spirit, I encourage you to subscribe, not simply to follow content, but to remain immersed in spiritual truth, to stay anchored in divine law, and to maintain your vibration of perfect alignment. Every teaching shared here is a sacred reminder of your spiritual authority, your divine birthright, and your absolute power to create through your spoken word. Return here often, reaffirm your commitment daily, share your visible demonstrations and undeniable miracles. Inspire others by your example, your faith, and your nightly discipline. Your commitment is sacred, your results guaranteed, your demonstration inevitable. You have accepted this sacred discipline. You have activated divine law. And now, simply watch as miracles appear, demonstrations manifest, and your entire life effortlessly aligns with the perfect truth you've spoken into being. It is already done, and so it is.